Alright wolves, for our adventure today we're going to be doing Call of the Wild. Our first requirement here is to attend one of the following: a camp out, an outdoor activity, a day camp, or resident camp. You don't have to stay overnight. This can be just an outdoor hike in the woods with your family. It doesn't have to be really long or anything. Just spend some time outside. As you can see, I don't like to be inside, so I'm usually outside. I do a lot of hiking, and I do a lot of fun stuff in the woods here, and we help a lot around camp doing chores and activities around here. So I do like to spend my time outside, and I think once you guys get into it and get used to it, I think you'll really love it as much as I do. So we're gonna go to Call of the Wild here. Make sure I'm following along in my requirements the right way. And in this book, this red book here that I showed you yesterday, this is our wolf book. Alright, and on this it's on 25. With your family or den, make a list of possible weather changes that could happen during your outing according to the time of year that you are outside. Tell how you will be prepared for each one. For this, since we have scouts all over the country, not just here in Iowa, you're going to have to maybe ask your parents, or if you guys have ever been any bad weather in your part of the country. I know we certainly have some bad weather up here on occasion, so maybe you guys already are familiar with this. But maybe just discuss this stuff with your parents or an adult leader, and see if you have any bad weather that could happen in your area. For Iowa, I'm going to tell you a little bit. We have our winters can be really severe. We have really cold, below zero, 30 to 40 degrees below zero sometimes. And just to make sure that you're prepared for that, wear the appropriate clothing. That's always the biggest one, whether it's summer, spring, summer, fall, or winter. Wear the appropriate clothing. We're in July here. It is really warm out, so I'm wearing one of these new SBSA Class B shirts, and these have a vented back, and I'm wearing shorts, so trying to stay cool, and I'm drinking plenty of water. For the winter time, again, I'd have hats, gloves, mittens, coats, snow pants, boots, thicker boots. A lot of people around the country, if you're in the Southwest in a drier climate, you might not get the sudden weather that we do up here, but I know I've been in the woods lots of times and it started raining because I forgot to check the weather. And so I always in my pack have a little rain jacket. That's one of the ways I can be prepared for that. So discuss that with your parent or adult leader, and see what kind of information you can find out about severe weather in your area and how you would be prepared for each one. Do the following: recite the outdoor code with your leader, recite the leave no trace principles for kids with your leader. Talk about how these principles support the outdoor code. In the back of your book, right inside the cover, it is the very last paper page here. The outdoor code is: as an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, be careful with fire, be considerate of the outdoors, and be conservation minded. What that means to me is I'm a big stickler for being clean in the outdoors. Anytime that you have a park or an area that people use, there's always trash, and I just hate to see trash laying everywhere. It doesn't look good. It's not good for the environment. So I always bring a bag with me. I always pick up the trash. If I'm out at camp and I'm wearing my scout pants that have pockets, I always have a trash pocket. You'll see me stop and pick up trash all the time. Be careful with fire. This one is really important. They're all really important, but be careful with fire is one that can get people hurt. So if you're not careful and you start a campfire and don't contain it, or don't get it put out right away, or it's too big or crazy, and you end up setting the woods on fire around you, that can spread. A lot of parts of this country have had a lot of problems with wildfire, and people's homes get destroyed. People can get hurt if they get caught in the fire. So fire is something that we talk about a lot in Scouts because it is very important. Because if you do make a mistake, sometimes that can have really bad consequences. Be considerate in the outdoors. A lot of us use public parks. Most of us don't have land that we can use that is just going to be us. So be considerate of other people while you're around. And one of the ways that people are inconsiderate in their outdoor adventures is noise. Noise is a big one. I come out in the woods to hang out with the birds and the deer and the turkeys that we have up here, the wild animals. I like it nice and quiet. I like listening to the birds. So be considerate of other people, and part of that is also cleaning up your mess. Don't leave a big mess for other people to take care of. Camps have rangers, camps have ground crews that have to maintain these places, and if you leave a big mess or stuff that has to be fixed, it can really draw away from the outdoor experience. And be conservation minded. Don't go out in the woods and cut fresh walking sticks every day and cut down trees and destroy plants and animals, and stay on your trails so you're not trampling all over the wild plants. Leave no trace principles for kids. Know before you go, choose the right path, trash your trash, leave what you find, be careful with fire, respect wildlife, be kind to others. And I think I kind of touched on most of that stuff here with the outdoor code. If you guys have any questions about the Leave No Trace principles, you can go to lnt.org. It's a good website. There's lots of resources on there to help you learn. One of our local parks here has a sign that says, "Take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints." So we're not going into the woods to just harvest trees or beat up on the wildlife areas or anything like that. So we're not going there to harvest anything. We're not going there to take anything from it. We're going out there to enjoy the open spaces and take some pictures, but leave it as you found it, or leave it better than you found it, like I do when I'm picking up trash. If everybody can leave it better than they found it, we would have a lot more of these areas to use. This is requirement 3C. After you do your outdoor activity or camp out, list the ways that you demonstrated being careful with fire and other dangers. Show or demonstrate what to do in case of a natural disaster such as an earthquake or flood. That was requirement 4A. Requirement 4B, to keep from spreading your germs. This is a big one lately with spreading the germs. We're going to show you a little clip here on how to properly wash your hands. This is very important. A scout is clean. It is in our scout law. So keep your hands clean. That keeps you safe. That keeps everybody around you safe. Show requirement 5 here on our Call of the Wild is show how to tie an overhand knot and a square knot. And for that, I'm going to go grab a piece of rope, and I'll be right back. Alright, for this I moved the camera around here so we're not looking at the sunlight all the time. I went and got myself a piece of parachute cord here, this paracord. Really, you can use any piece of rope for this, so we're going to do the overhand knot first. Alright, so I have my two ends here. Cross them, and then take one of your ends and go around, just like you start when you tie your shoes. Now to finish a square knot, you do the same thing, but this time you're going to take this piece and go backwards. So it looks like this when we're done. So you start with right over left and then left over right. It's two overhand knots, but going in separate directions. So if you can see here, this is the knot that shows if you're an Eagle Scout, or we use this one a lot in scouting. So this is a nice tight knot. This doesn't go anywhere. So give those a practice. There's plenty of online tutorials if you're having a little trouble, or just rewatch this video here. I'll do it one more time so you can see it. So the overhand knot, that's the easy one, right? You just cross them and go through once. Overhand knot, we can tighten that up. That just looks like that. And then for the square knot, I'm going to take, for me this is my left hand, so I'm going to go left hand over right and through the loop, and then my right hand over the left and through the loop. And there we go. Nice square knot there. See through it. Right. Practice that, because as you get older in scouting, we're gonna start learning a lot more knots. So these are the two basic ones that we start out with. These are fun, and the square knot looks really nice. So give that a shot, guys. Our last requirement here for Call of the Wild is requirement number 6. While on a den or family outing, identify 4 different types of animals you see, or explain the evidence of their presence. Tell how you identify them. And all of these requirements are in your book. Kind of help you learn how to do them, but sometimes I have a lot easier time of doing stuff with the video as opposed to just reading it in a book. So that's why we're doing it this way. Alright. When you are in the outdoors, you share the area with animals that live there. They may be birds, mammals, insects, reptiles, or other creatures. Knowing the animals that live in an area is a way for Wolf Scouts to be prepared. For example, when you are camping in some parks and wilderness areas, you may have to use a bear bag or take other steps to keep your food safe from animals. Learning more about the animals that live near you is an important outdoor skill. The more you know, the more connected you will feel to a place where you live and the natural world around you. Instead of saying, "I saw a butterfly," you can say, "I saw a monarch butterfly with orange and black wings." In learning to identify a monarch butterfly, you might also learn that monarchs, like many birds, fly south in the fall and north in the spring. In fact, monarchs can migrate more than 2,500 miles a year. That's 2,500 miles. That's a long way. Here in Iowa, we have the plant that they form their chrysalis on and their caterpillars eat. It's called milkweed. And we have a lot of that out here at camp. So sometimes when I'm just looking to get outside and connect with the nature around me, I'll go out and try to find some. And I have found some already this spring, so that's super neat. They have cool stripes. So go out and find your 4 animals. You can do this in your backyard. You don't have to go to the woods. You don't have to go to your scout camp or anything like that. You can do this in your backyard. For Iowa, where we're at, or a lot of the Midwest here, squirrels and rabbits are really common in town. There's a lot of different kinds of birds we get around here, so go find your 4 different animals, and if you guys take any really neat pictures of them, I'd love to see them. So send those into that email address that we sent this information out on, and show me some cool pictures of animals that you have in your area, that especially stuff that we don't have here. If you guys have elk or moose or anything like that, I like the big deer animals are super cool, or any really pretty birds. If you guys have any cool animal pictures from your area, please send them in. I love to see that stuff. So alright, that is it for today for our Call of the Wild here. If you guys have any questions, again, that email address is good. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. We do have a fair amount of kids doing this, but I will try to get back to you as soon as I can, and I will get back to you with any questions you have. So feel free to use that email, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.